Hello. Right, today I'm going to be looking at intuition. I'm going to start off by reading something here which I found in some old journals. This is by Dr. Andrew Taylor Still. This is called Dr. A.T. Still's Department, and it's entitled Intuitive Consciousness, from the Journal of Osteopathy, Volume 5, Number 6, November 1898. Now I'll be posting this up on Facebook and some of the other bits and pieces as so you can read them later. This is what Dr. Still wrote. By following a study of practical training, a person becomes acquainted with the principles to such fullness that he can do good work in all parts, and feels no further effort will be required. Now even that one sentence, what gets me there is the words do good work in all parts. So there's no sort of fragmentation of cranial, visceral, structural or anything else. Right. He does his work well and feels so because of his being master of his trade by practical experience and close observation to the study while in apprentice. Another person of his apprentice class, who never lost an hour, cannot do as good work and lives a life of confused labour, but stands about par in all other branches. The first man has obtained from study something that the second man has not. The first drives through all kinds of difficult problems with ease, while number two is almost a failure in all places. So, why the difference? Perhaps number one has worked for and obtained intuitive consciousness, or made all subjects to his mind beings of life that live under laws made for their being. There's your organic philosophy. He who succeeds must study the law of all pursuits or trades. To observe is the only way to succeed. Remember that, to observe, not to listen, to observe. To observe is the only way to succeed. He does succeed by obedience to such laws until mind and body becomes equally sensitive to the fact that man must feel that he is right before he can be successful. So that whole thing about also here, mind and body becomes equally sensitive. There's no separation between palpation and what you're actually thinking. So, intuition. Intuition seems to have come from Aristotle, and he used the term phantasm. Then it seems to have gone towards Thomas Aquinas in the 13th century, who was an Italian friar, who then coined the term intuition. This then went to Baruch Spinoza, the philosopher, in the 17th century, got my notes here again, in the 17th century, who used the term scientia intuitiva, so scientifically intuitive. Then Alexander Baumgarten and Immanuel Kant from the 17th into the 18th century, or was it 18th? No, sorry, 18th into the 19th century. And then, of course, we have Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Oh, hang on a second. So Baumgarten and Kant used the terms intellectus archetypus, productive Einbildungskraft, and Anschauung, which are the German terms. Goethe then took that work and used the term exact sensorial fantasy, but again with the PH, like phantasm from Aristotle's work. So, what does that actually mean? Well, the actual present term, intuition, actually means to see immediately. So it has visual connotations, not listening, just purely visual. Okay, last thing I'm going to do is read you a piece from Hans-Georg Gadamer from 2004 in a book entitled Truth and Method. Here, what people in the 19th and 20th century like to call intuition is brought back to its metaphysical foundation. That is, to the structure of living, organic being in which the whole is in each individual. This sounds like Goethe. The whole of life has its centre in the heart, which by means of common sense grasps countless things all at the same time. In the heart means emotion, not the anatomical heart. So intuition, cannot be taught in the abstract, but only from case to case, and is therefore more an ability like the senses. It is something that cannot be learned, because no demonstration from concepts can guide the application of rules. Now I suppose what that means is you can't teach intuition, it's something you develop through experience. So the original osteopathic work was trying to deepen the personal experience, see things more clearly by intuitiveness, not listen for things, not separate parts out and see it in all parts. Well, I hope that's helped, and thank you for watching this video, and there'll be more coming up. Oh yes, and don't forget, if you've got Facebook, you can get to McKone Osteopath and click like. Thank you.